2 weeks ago, did a ton of research, bought the Gunkii, loved it. And lo and behold, there's somebody sitting right next to me with a brand new sealed Gunkii.
Hi, my name is Jay Palmer, co-founder of Gunkii, a luxury tongue scraping company sold in over 50 countries. We're interviewing real people with real tongues and talking about their Gunkii experience. Let's get started. We are very privileged and lucky to have Matt Keenander, and I hope I said that last name properly, to join us today. And we are going to be talking about tongue scraping. Matt, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, no worries. It was not what I expected to be doing on my Friday morning, but I'm stoked to be here.
Well, listen, you know, what's even more, a little crazier than a Friday morning talking about tongue scraping is how we met. Super crazy story. Maybe I'll start a little bit about, and then maybe you can, you know, take it from there. I was in a coffee shop, and all of a sudden Matt said, "Hey," what did you say, Matt?
Well, so I'd researched tongue scrapers about 3 or 4 weeks beforehand. I bought a Gunkii, and yeah, I was down at the coffee shop, and I saw these two guys talking, and one of them happened to have a couple of brand new sealed Gunkies, and I thought I've never heard of this brand before in my life. 2 weeks ago, did a ton of research, bought the Gunkii, loved it. And lo and behold, there's somebody sitting right next to me with a brand new sealed Gunkii container. And so I thought you were a customer. I thought that you just bought a Gunkii and, you know, you just happened to have it with you at the time. So yeah, so I reached over and I said, "Hey, just letting you know, I bought one of those a couple weeks ago, really good." And that was when you turned around and you were like, "Well, I'm happy to hear that because it's my company."
Yeah, that was really cool. And then, I mean, then I asked you probably about a million questions about your experience, and we're going to talk about that right now. Let's start off right off the bat here, Matt. First of all, I just love the way the world works and brings people together. That's just really neat. Again, weird question. What got you into tongue scraping, Matt?
Yeah. Okay. So there was a YouTube video by this guy called Nathaniel Drew. So I got sucked into the influencer marketing thing real hard with that one.
Yeah.
He was doing a tour of his apartment in Paris, and he was going through his bathroom, and he had a tongue scraper, and he was like, "Yo, this is the best $10 you'll ever spend for your oral hygiene." And I'm someone who likes to feel fresh. I like to be considerate of others in terms of smells and all that kind of thing. So I was like, you know what? Like, my breath has maybe not been on point as much as it could be. So I'm going to try out this tongue scraper thing and give it a go.
And that's very cool. I mean, and so there are a lot of options out in terms of tongue scrapers. Tell me a little bit about your research and what made you decide that, you know, Gunkii is going to be the winner.
Yeah. Okay. So there were a couple of reasons why. I went on to Amazon, and if you go into Amazon today and you look up tongue scraper, there are heaps and heaps of different options available to you. And one of the biggest concerns to me is, and I'm sure with many others as well, is if you're putting something on your skin, in your body, whatever else, you want to make sure that there's been some thought and intentionality behind that design. I didn't want to put anything that was potentially toxic or not good for me or would injure me in any way. Food is very, very important to me, and if I was to destroy my taste buds by a slightly over sharpened edge of a tongue scraper, that would not make me happy at all. So in doing the research, it looked like Gunkii had a lot of research put into the actual design of it. There were some good reviews floating around, and one of the other things, honestly, because the price of the Gunkii was a little bit higher than some of the others, but one of the things that made me kind of tick on and say, "Oh, this is actually, it looks like it's being led, like it has good leadership," was the charitable donations to Cleft Palate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure research or whatever else, but everything kind of about the company was like, okay, they actually care. And I was like, you know what? It's a Vancouver company, support local. They tick all these other boxes. I'll give it a shot and see how it goes.
Oh, fantastic. I appreciate your support. And what you're talking about is, yeah, every Gunkii that is sold or purchased, is a portion of the sales goes to children with cleft lip and cleft palate. So we definitely have a shared values and want to make sure that we have a company that is purposeful. How long have you been tongue scraping, Matt?
Since we met, pretty much.
Okay.
So I think it's been maybe 2 or 3 months that I've been kind of consistently using the tongue scraper.
Sure. And then consistently, are there days you don't tongue scrape? And if you don't tongue scrape, do you notice it? What does it feel like?
Yeah, so there are definitely days where I forget. If I'm being honest, it's not a built-in habit just yet. It's something where, I'll notice, like, you get that feeling that just that, you're like, I need to brush my teeth kind of thing. So it's more, especially if I'm going out and seeing friends, or I'm going out and I'm wanting to be very presentable, tongue scraping is definitely something I'll be doing before I go. And on the days that I don't tongue scrape, like, it's I kind of equate it to, it's just like having a shower. You notice when you're like clean and fresh, and the days when you don't tongue scrape, you kind of notice like, oh, I'm not as like pristine as I normally am.
Sure. I mean, okay, if you're comfortable, and only if you're comfortable, are you comfortable describing what comes off your tongue?
Are you comfortable describing what comes off your tongue?
Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. We call it disgustingly satisfying. It's a blob of gunk. Well, that's where we got the name from, is Gunkies, because the only way that we can explain is gunk, and it's about like a quarter teaspoon. I got a really thick palate on my tongue, so it's the consistency of snot, and I'm careful not to say that. I know we went there, but like, I know
it's not like, I think I recorded a video of the first time I did it, just look for like, I just wanted to send it to a friend and be like, look at this stupid thing that I've bought. And then I did it, and I looked down, I was like, I cannot send this to anybody. Like, I was so shocked about how much came off.
Yeah. I know, nobody likes to show their earwax off, or any other, when they blow their nose or whatever the case be. I mean, it's a very private and intimate, but there's people that just don't know. And now if you don't know, you don't know. All right. So you order the Gunkii comes to your house. Tell me about how you received it, what that process was like, and maybe a little bit about the unboxing piece of, grabbing one of these and showing up at your house.
Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of laughed, if I'm being honest, when I got the Gunkii, because as soon as I kind of opened the plastic wrapping, I was like, this is like opening an iPhone. Like, whoever has designed this really wanted that unboxing experience. And I think they took notes from Apple, because everything was very kind of like meticulously crafted. The way that the Gunkii, the device, was actually inset into the cardboard, like everything was flush, and it was a very good, again, kind of like keeping in sync with the rest of what I've seen from Gunkii in terms of like the socials and the cleft palate stuff. Like, it was designed with care. So it was a good first experience for sure.
Oh, fantastic. That's great to hear, Matt. All right, Matt, listen, for people that don't know about tongue scraping and are just like, okay, this is so new to me, what advice do you have for people that might be new to it, or thinking about, hey, maybe I do want to scrape my tongue, or I didn't know I had that layer on my tongue?
Honestly, it's not a huge investment. Sorry, I'll roll that back. It's not a huge investment to get started with oral hygiene. For me personally, like, when it comes to health, I'm more than happy to kind of splurge and experiment and see what makes me feel good. And I think with the Gunkii being the price that it is and the benefits that it has, just give it a shot. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. For me personally, I found it well worth it. It gives you that kind of like extra degree of freshness as you walk out the door, especially like if you're going on a date or you're going to a meeting and you're wanting to make sure that you're not kind of blasting somebody with Thai salad or mango smoothie or whatever you've had for lunch that day. It's just a nice kind of like reassurance that you're going to be expelling a pleasant experience, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, you can. Hey, Matt, listen, listen, we're talking about tongues. We're talking about tongue scraping. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to talk about your experience with Gunkii and tongue scraping. You know what? Until we talk next time, thanks very much.
Yeah. Thanks, man. See you later. Bye.